Yo, what's going on, guys? This is I got Matthew up here. He's a 15-year-old client of mine, 6'5", a buck 70. We got him comped with a buddy of mine, Luke Weaver, who's about 6'2", 6'3", about 120 pounds. He's gonna love that comment. Anyways, I want to show you guys something in how essentially a couple different things in how Weaver generates a ton of velocity and how Matthew, we're seeing a little breakdown in his potential power output. So take him into his leg lift. You'll see, very limited momentum going forward. He's on a flat ground here. Very limited momentum going forward, which you'll see here. Weaver is very similar. I did a post a few days ago regarding him and DeGrom, but very similar in regards to that hip coil at peak leg lift. And now you'll notice Matthew going into his drive phase, having to generate the acceleration from that drive leg and that power from that drive leg. You'll see that Matthew's arm comes up. Pretty early hand raise here. And so this is what I've been talking about a lot lately in regards to arm raise and then in correlation to front foot position, right? So arm is up pretty early. He's got a few clicks to go before that front foot's going to touch down. So what happens now, especially with young kids, is they lack that stability in their trunk and stability in that glove side to hold trunk posture. Okay, so hold this trunk posture here, or even kind of counter rotate in a sense while their arm is coming through. So you'll notice now as he's coming, now the trunk's going to start going, right? Glove side's going to start going because the arm was early, and now boom at front foot strike. So now Matthew's lacking a ton of separation because his hips are going in line essentially with his shoulders. Okay, there's no stretch. Nothing's really getting separated. The hips wanting to go into rotation, which is great, but he wasn't able to delay the trunk from rotating due to his early arm raise and swing and so on and so forth. So given that example, now we're going to take note of Weaver and how as he generates his drive, notice how he goes, his hips internally rotate, pretty much same time Matthews did, but notice his positioning of his arm. Okay, his arm is delayed, his arm raise is delayed, so now his arm swing is going to occur at relatively on time with the front foot strike position. Okay, so now when he delays that arm raise, he's able to delay that trunk and that glove side from wanting to prematurely rotate. So now what you're going to see is front foot contact, and we'll clear it. So notice how his hips are going and his trunk was delayed. I think I went one too further. So this right here, right? So if you wonder how he's able to generate so much velocity at his size and his weight, look at that separation that he's getting and that stretch that he's getting, right? So now his shoulders and his hips, I don't know how I would draw this line, but if you remember the position that we showed with Matthew, his shoulders were relatively in line with his hips, whereas Weaver clearly, his shoulder and his hips compared to shoulder and hips, so the amount of separation that Weave gets here compared to Matthew, which is, in my opinion, it's stemming from, that early arm raise, early trunk rotation. Now they go in with the hips. Hopefully that makes sense, but yeah, that was a pretty good example, pretty good visual there of what we're talking about. So Matthew, it's now it comes time to figure out the solution, right? So it's one, do we just straight up delay, right? Or two, Do we increase momentum? Wow, that was momentum. Do we increase momentum? Or 3, do we do both? Yeah, that's when it gets fun. So, looking at it, I think we can increase forward momentum, accelerate himself into his drive phase, and we can maybe delay hand separation, and we can delay arm. We can get him going moving faster, which is going to accelerate that arm. Who knows? Honestly, it comes down to like a trial and error at that point, right? But cool, guys. Thanks for watching, and I gotta sign this because I got a new pen stylist. That's dope. Okay, until next time, like, subscribe, share. See ya.